Hello, this is Antonia Montoya with the Thriving Through Sobriety e-course, and today we are talking about interrupting anxiety with gratitude.
And I'm Becky, and I found this quote. It's by Deepak Chopra, and it says, "Every time you're tempted to react in the same old way, ask if you want to be a prisoner of the past or a pioneer of the future." And this quote really resonated with me because I struggle with anxiety, and I have my whole life. And part of my addiction problems actually started because of my anxiety. I self-medicated, I abused my prescription pills, and part of that was to make the anxiety go away. Now I'm actually not medicated anymore for my anxiety, and I know that's not an option for everybody, but it definitely is an option for some people. And a lot of the tools we talk about in the e-course are the tools I use now. Those tools are meditation and gratitude and bad day strategies and all these things that we can integrate today, and the power of choice, these things that we can do when we're starting to feel real anxious, because anxiety is kind of like this loop we go into. It's this spiral, and we always have a choice of what we do when we start to feel that. And I love the idea of, oh, there's a gratitude we can feel, and there's something we can do when we start to feel the anxiety instead of going down the rabbit hole that anxiety presents us. And
Can I ask you a question?
yes.
So when you talk about this idea of using gratitude while you're feeling anxious,
Mm-hmm.
is this written? Like, are you writing something you're grateful for? Or
Sometimes it's like I'm grateful for something I can touch, or something I can smell, or something I can taste. That's called grounding. So sometimes it's really hard to sit down and write in the middle
that's
of
what I thought.
anxiety. So if you if you use a grounding exercise, which is actually something we talk about in the e-course, and actually just get super present, because when we're anxious, we're actually either like living in the past or living in the future. We're rarely right there in the present. So if you can get super present, usually your anxiety will start to dissipate. So there are lots of really great techniques that we talk about in our e-course, and lots of meditations, and yeah.
That's really helpful. You know, I have anxiety on a very slight scale, but it definitely came up for me when I was like in the first maybe like 6 months of my sobriety. I was dealing with a lot of anxiety and I wasn't used to it. So I was doing all this research on like self-soothing and different things that you could do. And I know we talk about some of this, but I guess the reason I wanted to bring it up today is that it's funny because I've had this tool of gratitude for a long time, but I found that when I was feeling anxious, I couldn't do my normal written gratitude. And,
Right.
and of course, like, I didn't even think of it in terms of other ways of practicing gratitude, like you said, like touch, and even just thinking about, oh, I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful.
Right.
I'm grateful. Like in your thoughts, and it's almost like a mantra in that way. Like, thank you, thank you, thank you for like everything. And that's funny. Like that, it never occurred to me that I had a tool all along that could help me. You know.
Right. Well, and in the e-course, we go over things like self-soothing and guided meditations and different things you can do. I mean, there's so many other things you can do besides just writing.
Right.
We give you different options, because I know I'm not the only person out there that self-medicated to deal with anxiety. And like I said before, not everybody can get off their meds, but everybody can incorporate other techniques along with their meds. And it helps. It completely helps.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I love this whole idea of just an interruption.
Just an interruption.
Interrupting, just a little hiccup, a little pause in it can help break that cycle. And it's really powerful, whether it's through gratitude or meditation or being present or whatever you do. From what you said, Becky, it's about breaking that habit and
Yes.
interrupting it a little.
Just break the cycle for a moment.
Cool. Well, thank you for being here, everyone. Go to thrivingthroughsobriety.com and join us in the e-course. We're